Okay. So morning, what we have seen, product details through API, which is hosted by somebody else, right? So now we need more details about the product, not just name and description, but also the nutritional values. And next one is wherever this product is banned. Two things. So for nutritional values, we'll use a different API. For nutritional information, we use something called Nutritionix API. So for using Nutritionix API, this API is not for public consumption, which means without having an account with them, we can't use it. So what is the difference between using of today's morning dummy JSON API? This API is morning API is public or is open for all. Anybody can access without telling who you are. So whereas this Nutritionix API, you need to have a account with them. Okay. So most of the APIs will be having this kind of service where they will give for sample APIs like 3 or 4 calls for free. Then you need to pay for it. So Nutritionix API will give the nutritional values of any given product. And this API is hosted on this site called nutritionix.com. So you need to go to that particular website, create an account, and after that you need to create keys. So for any paid APIs, normally you have a key and a secret, or ID and secret, or ID and key, some combination. So you need to create those keys. So I already have created a key. That's why. So if you see my account, so I have my API keys here. So if you once you create an account here, go to your account and then go to view API keys. By default, you may not have key. If you have key, you can directly use it. If you don't have key, you need to create a new key. By default, it will give the first key, also an application ID. Two things. So one is the application ID. See here. This is the application ID. And this is the key. And if you go to the dashboard, API status, show the status, whether this API is down or the server is running. Right? Also, you can see the messages. And here you can see how many APIs I have hit. So it is saying that I have hit on one day 2 times, one day 3 times, and one day 1 times. On which days also it is. Okay. So by default, it claims that you are only allowed to have 2 requests, but after that you have to pay, but it is still allowing. So that's a good thing. So we can use it. So we need to use this API and then get the nutrition. So this is the response which the Nutritionix API will give, which actually tells you how many calories, how much sugar percentage, how much percentage of fat, or kilocalories of fat, kilocalories of sugar. Right. So in the new assignment, we need to add the price, nutritional values, and band in countries. Okay. And get product data. So this is also an API. So if you see actually morning, whatever we have seen, retrofit client, we can use the same retrofit client. But the only thing is we need to give the application ID and key. Right. So for the banned products, we will not show banned products like banned in UK, US, UAE, like a label. We need to view it like a pop-up. Okay. So here for things like pop-up, even though it is not exactly like pop-up because we won't see one more window on top of it where you need to click and all. So here you can use something called recycler view. So recycler view will show one more box on top of the existing screen and will show the data. So that is called as recycler view. So for nutrition, we are going to use Nutritionix API and it needs product name. So we already have product name and it gives calories, sugar, fat, proteins, and you can show it in regular 2 more boxes. You will get 2 more boxes. So that is what we will do now. So I share one more zip file. You can use that zip file and then let us see. Let me just open that zip file before I share it with you. So you can see here the code. For nutrition, we are using another Java file because JSONs will be converted into objects and objects will be converted into JSONs using JSON in retrofit. So this is we also call this as POJO, plain Java object notation. So this is the plain Java file and you have Nutritionix API. So which will declare what will be the APIs which are exposed. These are interface. Today morning also we have done. And then request and response and retrofit client. You will create a different retrofit client for every URL. Here the URL is different. Morning the URL was dummy JSON. So now the URL is trackapi.nutritionix.com. So we created 2 different retrofit client is for dummy JSON and retrofit client Nutritionix is for nutrition values. Okay. Similarly, you have today morning we have DJ search response. Here we have Nutritionix search response. So one object will tell how the request will be, and one will tell how the response will be. And in the main activity, or let me just go to the layouts. So we have added these calories. We have added fat. Okay. Two more new things. And then there is a button which says get nutrition details. New button also. So whenever we click on this button, this should call the Nutritionix API using the Nutritionix REST. Retrofit client Nutritionix, and then it is going to send a request object, which then gets a response object, and finally you show that details into this edit text, which is calories and fat. That is what we need to do. So let us go into main activity and see what are all the things we have added. So first of all, I have 3 more new UI elements or fragments. I hope you remember, because tomorrow we'll have a quiz. What is meant by fragment, all those things. Okay. So here I have added PTN button Nutritionix, and I have added calories, EFAT. And then, as I told yesterday, if you don't have an integration with the front end, then you will get null pointer exception. So I am having a mapping between this particular variable to layouts, the calorie, fat, and this button. And let us see wherever this button gets clicked. See, this is where I am saying, if somebody clicks on the button Nutritionix, it should call fetch nutrition bar. Okay. So now this is a method inside the same class. So where I declared, you create an object of retrofit client Nutritionix, and on top of that, just call get nutritions, and here you will send the app ID and app key. Today morning we don't have this concept of app ID and app key. Okay. So here I'll send which return me the response. And here what I'm doing is I am able to fetch the calories, carbohydrates, protein, and fat. But I need only calories and fat because I need to set the text for those. So I'm using here. Okay. And the show snack is nothing but the toast, which will show the information down. So toast is something which comes and then goes back. Okay. So if you see the toast maker, if you put something into the toast maker, after it gets heated up, it will come out. So similarly, this message will be shown for some time and it will be gone. Okay. So what will happen? I'll run it and show you. This is the first part of the assignment, which is just to get the nutritional values, not the band contents. So I say Apple. And then click on get nutrition details. Says it doesn't have. So it is saying the apple has 94.64 kilocalories and 0.31 calories of fat. So this is how it will work. Any questions? So any questions? So let us see the second part where I want to add the banned countries. For example, let us see here. I say poppy seeds, right? So I can get the nutritional values. At the same time, I can say show countries. It is showing USA, UAE, right? Which means you should not carry poppy seeds to these countries, otherwise you will be jailed for 14 to 18 years. Okay, so this app is going to save you. Now, this particular thing is not a toast message, you see. So this is called as recycler view. Why it is called recycler view? Because the moment I click OK, it's recycled, it's gone. Right? That's why it is called as recycler view. I mean, there might be multiple reasons, but that is what I understand. Once you click on that, doesn't have that screen no longer exists. It's not an activity. It's not separate intent we are doing. Okay. So let us see where this is happening. Again, the first thing we need to see is inside main activity XML, what new things we added. We added one more button called show countries. That is the button we added. And then let us see what we are doing with that button. You will be first defining that button on the top. So you have one button for show countries. This one. You just defined it. And on create, you need to map it with your layout. So I'm mapping it with my layout, which is my XML file ID. And now let us see if I click on that, what happens. So I have registered a click listener, which will call show countries dialog. Okay. So what will it do? It actually takes the product and also countries. So what is these countries? I'll tell you. Because this is not hitting any API, remember. This is not hitting API. This is having a local JSON file, which it is using to tell in which countries it is blocked. So let us go to this particular method. So here you can see that it is actually creating or it is filling the dialog countries. Let us go back to here and see if it has any. RV countries. So let us go to dialog countries. So you see, because every layout has to be in separate file. So this is in a separate file. Here you can see RV countries. This is a different layout, which is recycle view layout. and you have an ID called RV countries. And the same thing if you search here I am getting that, and I am going to set the data into the RV layer, which is my RV. Okay. So in the RV, finally I put the data. So first of all, I parse the JSON and get the information saying that in which countries it is banned. Okay. So if you see here, we are getting the array list and we are searching for that item. Okay. So let us see from where this information is coming. I'll show you the JSON. Actually, by default, that JSON will not be available. You will be adding it. So this is the JSON name, banned products.json. If you search this file into our you will be able to find that file. See, this is the banned products. Okay. Let me open that file. So are you able to see that? So this is the file which says in US and UK, this is a different file. You have poppy seeds. Poppy seeds are banned in 2 countries. Okay. So where is cigarettes banned? Anyone? Where are cigarettes banned? Singapore. E-cigarettes are banned in Singapore. So this is what it is identifying by just parsing this XML. This data is coming from this local XML, not from outside, remember. So any questions? So it is actually calling this method called load banned JSON, and it is reading that and putting into array list. And after that, you are just using the array list. Okay. So let us go back to the rooms and start doing this assignment.